ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Nerd Sports 121, that's 121, we're going to talk about midget MMA fighting. I think it's kind of cute they had like the little squeaky toys when they punch.
So is it safe to say that they don't have to go far for a ground game?
It's a little sport, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying that every time they'd get knocked down, it wasn't much effort to get back up.
Yeah, I mean their ground game is small, but still,
They're already halfway there.
Oh, yeah. No. Hey, David, don't belittle these guys.
So who's driving the bus straight to hell?
Hey, I've had my CDL for a while.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, and besides that, David, I mean, it good looking up for these fighters. I'm just saying.
I'm not looking.
It was a long way from the land of the Lollipop Gang to here. So
yeah,
they had to start somewhere, right?
I'm literally not looking down on that competition. I mean, it looks like they could eventually get up in the ranks.
They also, they took a hit from being excluded out of the Snow White remake too.
Oh yeah, that is true.
I mean, this is definitely a leg up from the snub Disney gave them.
God damn it, Johnny. That's so fun. We have a bunch of sports news this weekend from this weekend.
Yeah. Starting off with baseball, David brought this to my attention. I wasn't even aware of it until just about a few minutes ago. Wander Franco from the Tampa Bay Rays, their shortstop, excuse me. He's on MLB's restricted list. The Dominican authorities, where he's from, are investigating an alleged relationship with a minor. They're also looking into social media posts regarding the shortstop. It's expected to be at least a 6-game stint on the restricted list. The Associated Press reported that Dominican authorities are investigating Franco for an alleged relationship with a minor, confirmed by the Office of the Attorney General. Now, this is coming from CBS.com. So there are, quote, investigations regarding that matter, the Dominican Attorney General said via AP. We support any steps taken by the league to better understand the situation. The Rays said in a statement on Monday, out of respect for all parties involved, we have no further comments at this time. The Rays said that they were made aware of social media posts about Franco on Sunday and initially said Major League Baseball was conducting due diligence about the matter. Franco will be paid during his time on the restricted list. That was confirmed by CBS Sports HQ's Jim Bowden. The team's road trip began Monday night in San Francisco and concludes on August 20th. Franco did not travel with the team on Sunday night as the Rays flew to California. He was out of the lineup on Sunday against Cleveland, but Rays manager Kevin Cash said that was because of a scheduled day off. So instead of Franco getting a nod at shortstop on Sunday, the Rays deployed debuting infielder Olivier Basabe in a 9-2 loss to the Giants. Now, the Rays had only recalled Basabe prior to the game, demoting lefty Josh Fleming in the process. Now, Franco's 22 years old. He signed an 11-year extension with the Rays in November of 2021 and was selected to his first All-Star game this season and is hitting .281 right now in 112 games. I mean, you would hope that the allegations are false, but I mean, to be completely and perfectly honest with you here, even if a court of law does their due diligence and they conduct a proper investigation and he's cleared of the charges, the court of public opinion is going to damn this guy.
Yeah,
they really are. You know, I mean, you hear it murmured, you hear it whispered, sometimes you hear it screamed from the top of the mountains, but just because you're cleared of charges doesn't mean that you didn't actually do it. That just meant you were probably smart enough to get away with it. Again, I hope that it's not true. The guy, I mean, he's got talent. Let's just put it that way. He's got talent. He's got some definite pop in the bats. I mean, he's a good offensive player. He's a good defensive player. But if it's true, if there's any any truth to the charges, man, I'm telling you, guys, I think it's gonna get to the point where teams are gonna have to start employing like babysitters for the off season.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna have to have bouncers at the bedroom door carting people before they go in.
And that's not exclusive to the MLB either. Like,
no, that's not exclusive to the MLB. That's the NBA. That's the NFL.
Yep.
What's really sad though is, from what I gathered from some of the information, that didn't give like a lot of the information on. Apparently, there was some kind of like kid day, and they're showing the kids to the ball players, and the way that he handled it was kind of messed up. It's just really strange.
We're not going to have a lot of information until the investigation is complete. But I mean, and even then, it may be a situation where, you know, his lawyers ask for, you know, a gag order.
Yeah.
You know, or that the records be sealed, kind of a situation. But I don't know how far they'd get on that, especially if there's an indictment or even a conviction. If there's a conviction, then at that point it becomes public record. But with situations like this, where it's either dealing with a minor, anything involved with child sex, child trafficking, inappropriate behavior, things of that nature, MLB is faced with a very unique opportunity here. If he is in fact found guilty, they need to take the opportunity to make a stance, to make a statement, and ban him for life from the game.
Oh yeah,
sucks. And I mean, even as a Red Sox fan, I'm like, hey, this dude, he needs to have his due diligence. He needs to have his due process, afforded to him. But you know, with the way that MLB has been handling things as far as discipline is concerned, you know, that they've banned Pete Rose for life, but yet they've got guys who were on the PED list that are even remotely being considered for the Hall of Fame right now.
Come on.
Disgraceful.
You know, I mean,
It really is.
I get betting is one thing, but when you outright cheat at the game, you know, it's, you know, whether it's sign stealing, whether it's taking performance enhancing drugs, it doesn't matter. I mean, you've got people that are usurping the rules of the game to get an edge, and they're being allowed to play. People like Pete Rose, they bet on baseball, and they're told, sorry, you know, you can't come back ever.
You might change the outcome of the game in order to win a
Well,
bet.
see, the thing about Pete Rose and the way that he bet, he never bet against the Reds.
Exactly.
He always bet.
That was the thing, is that they were worried about him changing and influencing the outcome of the game. You're telling me that PEDs don't influence the outcome of the game?
Right, exactly. You know, I mean, and you get those people that make those arguments that, you know, oh, well, you take steroids, you still have to have talent to hit a fastball. Well, like, dude, if you can swing the bat, if you can swing the head of the bat at 120, 130 miles an hour, even if you just make slight contact, you're going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know, man. It's that's a sticky situation, man. And I think that for as long as the investigation is continuing, I think that he needs to be on the restricted list. If the Rays front office feels that it's necessary to continue to pay him, fine, go ahead. That's on them. That's their paycheck. You know, that's their pocketbook, not mine.
I mean, at least they're a little due diligence more than NFL. I mean, how long did it take them to fuck, what the hell is his name?
Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that was, well, see, the whole time that he was suspended without pay.
Yeah.
But
it took him a while. I mean, the allegations.
well, that's because the allegations they would come out, and then thank you. They would come out, and then they would go away. You know, or people would change their stories.
Mm.
And I'm not standing up for Deshaun Watson at all. The guy is absolute trash. But, you know, with the I don't like that angle because it makes, you know, you can see right up my nose, and I don't like that. Anyway,
That's my nose.
But you know, with the way that baseball's handling this, I find, you know, fine, they're doing something right here. The way that they handled Trevor Bauer, I think is disgraceful. He was cleared of all the charges. I mean, the woman recanted her story. She was actually caught in a lie, so she recanted her story. And MLB still chose to suspend him indefinitely. He's over there playing Japanese ball, you know, and I'm just like, okay, I get that the court of public opinion is going to sway kind of against him a little bit, but the guy was cleared for the charges. Let him play. He didn't take PEDs. He didn't bet on the game. He didn't try to change the outcome of a game because, you know, for nefarious reasons. No, somebody accused him of sexual assault. He was cleared of the charges. Case was dropped. Let the guy play. Wander Franco's situation, until the charges are dropped, keep him on the restricted list. MLB needs to do this right. If they think that the investigation is only going to take 6 days, I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. The Dominican authorities seem to do things a little bit more thoroughly than, you know, some of your more domestic police departments. But I think baseball needs to capitalize on this, and I'm not talking about for the sake of a dollar. I'm talking about to save face. Again, I hope that these allegations are false, but if they flesh out to be proven and there's an indictment and conviction handed down, hey, suspend them for life. ban him for life from the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate it for you, dude, but nobody told you to do what you are being accused of. You could have handled it better. Actually, you could have handled it like Keanu Reeves and kept your hands off. You know?
Exactly.
But all that being aside, it's just something that, I mean, I'm glad that they caught it now, and that somebody either brought it to the law enforcement attention in the Dominican Republic, or somebody in the DR's law enforcement apparatus saw those and said, "Nah, no, this isn't a thing." So, but looking at the standings for today, starting with the American League East, the universe is good, man. The universe is amazing, because the New York Yankees are 3.5 games in last place. There's a cushion there. It's not one of these who wants the basement more. It's the Yankees are in last place in the American League East.
As it should be.
I mean, boy, I tell you.
It also feels good that the Rangers gained another game on the Astros.
They did. Yeah, and Max Scherzer is 3-0 since becoming a Ranger.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so, good job. I mean, I just hope that the current version of Max Scherzer stays consistent throughout the playoffs for you guys. I really do.
Exactly.
It's not that I'm against the Texas Rangers winning a World Series. It's just that I don't want a majority of their fan base to experience that elation just because of the way that they act at their home games. I'm just putting that out there, dude. I mean,
I mean, isn't that why we like to root against the Astros? Is because of how their fan base acts?
Yeah. Now, granted, I don't dislike the Astros. I dislike their fan base. I dislike a portion of their fan base.
Right. It's a very vocal portion.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of they're being a little bit humbled this year. And, I think that serves them well.
They've kind of had to be, though.
Yeah. They've kind of had to have been humbled this year.
You saw a brief resurgence of it when they were only a game and a half behind.
Yeah.
They started chirping a little bit, and then the Rangers pulled back ahead. And since then, I've seen it be real quiet again.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, as far as the Yankees are concerned, it's both the team and the fan base that I absolutely despise.
Well deserved.
Yeah, so it's kind of like anybody who roots for any team from the city of Philadelphia.
Yes.
I mean, with the exception of, say, maybe one, maybe two individuals, but
they don't live in Philadelphia.
No, they don't. They live here. They live not here in my house, but they live in Texas.
Exactly.
And yeah, they'll chirp, but they understand. They understand the practice of futility.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's one thing about chirping and good natured chirping, and you get the rivalry and stuff, and that's fine.
Here's the thing that is going to ruffle Philadelphia fans. It's going to ruffle their Eagles fans' feathers. Yes, pun intended. But Eagles fans and Chris, before you start jumping on me, just hear me out. Eagles fans and Cowboys fans are not that dissimilar.
No, you're correct. You're right. I'll accept that.
Okay, and I'm talking about time and time again. You've watched your team excel in the regular season, only to choke it away.
Dude, December is the worst time to be a Cowboys fan. I'm
just saying, it is.
December sucks to be a Cowboys fan.
But I mean,
that's why a lot of people aren't being that vocal about with the Rangers being up and everything. Like, yes, I love to see them up, and I love to see him pull forward a little bit. But come on, man, it's the Rangers. We've been here before, so
Mhm.
yeah, I love to see it. It's great. I'm looking forward to the postseason. But
Yeah. Now,
come on, we've all been here.
right. So, but leading the world in winning percentage, so they're still right now is the Atlanta Braves. They've got a 644 winning percentage. That's 76-42 for those of us keeping score at home. They're 6-4 over their last 10. They won last night, and they're playing. They're actually in New York right now. They're gonna be playing. Or actually, should be playing the Yankees, but actually, what is it? Yeah, it's tonight. Philadelphia's not. Yeah, Philadelphia's about 11 and a half games back. They're playing 546 baseball, 65-54. Milwaukee's leading the NL Central Division at 65-54. The Dodgers are leading their division by 9 games, and out in the West by 9 games, 71-46. They've got a 607 winning percentage right now. They've won their last 8. So they're at 9-1 over their last 10 games. So I mean that's a pretty hot streak right now. They're actually the hottest team in baseball right now as far as their last 10 are concerned. Let me see here. Again, the the worst division in baseball is the American League Central. The Twins have a 4.5 game chokehold over the Cleveland Guardians. Minnesota's got a 517 winning percentage right now. They're 62-58. Second place, 4.5 games behind.
They're the
Cleveland.
only ones in the entire division.
Yeah,
with
they're the only one in the entire division with a winning record right now.
Well, their shortstop just came back, Royce Lewis.
Oh yeah,
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 he was off for like 36 games for obscure. The article's saying it's obscure rehab. So I don't know what the fuck he did. I can't find a fucking article.
rehab usually means it is a non-baseball related injury. That's usually what that means. But yeah, and this fan out in LA vowed to name his daughter after Mookie Betts if he homered, and he followed through. August 2nd, Mookie Betts said he did something he done 241 times. So I mean, he's familiar with the home run trot, right? Now, Wally was on deck in the second inning that night at Dodger Stadium. Betts struck up a conversation with fan Giuseppe Mancuso, who proclaimed that he'd give his soon-to-be-born daughter the middle name Mookie if Betts hit a home run.
Oh, middle name. That's come on.
Still. See, he said, quote, "I turned around and told him, no, don't do that, man." Betts recalled in a video posted to social media on Tuesday. Your wife wouldn't like that. But then Betts did something that forever changed the Mancuso family. 4 pitches after walking up to the plate against Oakland's Hogan Harris, Betts launched a 436-foot home run to left center field. His longest homer as a Dodger and the 5th longest of his major league career. After Betts rounded the bases, he gave a fist bump to Mancuso and chalked the incident up to a fan being enthusiastic about his favorite team. But a couple of weeks later, Betts saw on social media that Mancuso had posted the birth certificate of his newborn daughter, Francesca Mookie Mancuso. And he tagged Mookie Betts, LA Sportsnet, Sportsnet LA, and the Dodgers in that tweet.
I mean, I would have too, to be honest with you.
And Mookie Betts was like, I can't wait to meet her. That's going to be my girl, right?
Yeah.
He said that on Twitter. I'm sitting there going, okay, all right. I mean, I get it. I get it. All right. I mean, there are people who have named I mean, they've named their kids after like sports stars of every team, you know.
Or Star Wars
First
characters.
names too.
Yeah, Star Wars
Middle
characters.
names, like full on.
You know, and I swear on all that is holy, if that Lieutenant Kirk that is currently serving in the United States Space Force does not get promoted to captain one day,
Dude.
It's
Just
gonna be
on
winning.
general principle. He doesn't even have to be good at his
You're
job.
right.
Just
No, he just has to make like 2 ranks. And that's
I mean,
good.
make him a captain.
Well, you don't have to make captain. You just get promoted. Major is the one that you actually have to test for.
No, I'm telling you, he needs to make the rank of captain.
Oh yeah.
His last name is Kirk, and if he does not if he is not given command of something,
anything, literally anything.
and they don't name whatever that is, if it's a, I don't know what they would. I know
Yeah,
they call them
desk.
squadrons.
It literally could be the desk. Give him the plaque that says USS Enterprise on his freaking desk if you need to.
Exactly. Or send his ass to the Smithsonian and have him pose in front of the Enterprise.
I mean, do you know how far
Both
you
of the
can
Enterprise is the orbiter and the starship. Are you
I'm
kidding me?
saying,
I would collect money for this shit.
like you could just the recruiting alone for that
Oh yeah.
would be phenomenal.
The day that they open that up to combat armed soldiers, Marine, dude,
I would consider it.
yeah, I'd be like, hey,
I'm
look,
probably outside the age range. I get it, but come on, for the chance to be a space shuttle door
space
gunner.
shuttle door gunner, hell yeah,
Yes, I want
Yeah.
that. I want that badge. I want that badge.
dude.
And
Exactly.
honestly, how far do you need to run in space? Honestly, and really, it would be beneficial because in space there's zero gravity, so my bad knees wouldn't really matter anymore.
Even if we were assigned to the lunar base Alpha, right? We're working with 1/4 of the gravity.
Exactly, like it'd be perfect.
I'd
I'm
sign
pretty
over-
old and
I'd be
single. It
willing to
doesn't
sign
matter.
over
It's
my
something
VA
happens.
disability for that. Are you
Dude.
kidding me?
I'm saying.
Oh, hey, you're gonna have to go do 6 months up at lunar base Alpha. Or am I gonna get separation pay? Yeah, bet.
Dude, can you imagine? Imagine how you see all the stuff that you get just to go to Iraq or Afghanistan, go overseas.
Right.
Imagine all the extra pay and benefits you get for going to the moon.
Dude.
Hold on. I'm kind of curious now.
It'd so be worth it. I would do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd do it now.
I'm willing to bet that the Air Force Times does not have that pay scale in it, David.
David, tell me that's not what you're looking for.
Astronauts do though.
Oh my God. David.
I mean, hey, if astronauts get
but we're not
separation-
talking about astronauts. We're talking about spaceship. This grunts in space.
Okay,
literally
okay,
fucking
okay.
space
But-
marine, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing missing from that equation is the Weyland Corporation.
Or the
They
giant
only
suit of
They
armor
only
from
get paid
Warhammer.
like $100,000 a year. They don't get any
David
extra
gave
stuff.
me that long 10,000
Those are
yard stare.
astronauts. It's different.
The Weyland Corporation, you guys, Bueller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got you.
It's
Oh,
aliens.
okay, all right. Good God, dude.
No, I was looking
I'm
at
saying
this.
I want the giant suits of armor. I want suits of armor. Give me the Mjolnir.
Yeah. Hey. And if the
I don't know
division
which
of
one
Space Marine,
would be worse.
if the combat arm of the Space Force doesn't have somebody with the designation John 117,
Right?
bro.
I'll change my name. I don't care.
Okay, here's the thing. Which would be worse to put on? The Space Marines from 40K armor or Mjolnir from Halo?
Oh, I would say the Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
I mean,
though, like there was
of them you
significant
have, like-
augmentation done to John 117. The
Yeah.
Spartan program was based on significant augmentation. Like
Oh, yeah.
40% of them washed out, and by wash out I mean dead.
I mean,
No, I'm sorry, 40% survived
yeah.
the augmentation surgeries and all that.
And then I think what I said, I read somewhere in lore that it's like out of the 40%, only 75% of those went on to actually become Spartans because the other ones had mental psychotic breaks.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've
There was one other piece of MLB news.
go for it.
Everybody's favorite, well, probably second favorite behind Joe West, umpire Angel Hernandez.
Oh, please tell me he got shit canned.
He has lost his racial discrimination lawsuit again.
Yes, he's actually umpiring in the minors.
Yes, federal appeals court refused to reinstate his case. Actually, today, Second Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals upheld a lower court decision that granted MLB a summary judgment. Says that he alleges that he was discriminated against because he has not been assigned to the World Series since 2005 and had been passed over for crew chief.
No, you got passed over for both the World Series and crew chiefs because you suck at your job.
It says Hernandez has failed to establish a statistically significant disparity between the promotion rates of white and minority umpires, the second court said in an 11-page decision. MLB has provided persuasive expert evidence demonstrating that during the years at issue, the difference in crew chief promotion rates between white and minority umpires was not statistically significant. Hernandez offers no explanation as to why MLB's statistical evidence is unreliable. I might have an idea of why. MLB Hernandez claimed then MLB executive Joe Torre, who made key decisions over umpires, held animosity toward Hernandez, dating to Torres' time as New York Yankees manager. Hernandez has failed to show that the criteria Torre used in making crew chief promotion decisions caused the existing disparity between white and minority crew chiefs, the panel wrote. Hernandez has made no showing that Torre harbors a bias against racial minorities. Nicholas Gregg, Hernandez's lawyer, did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment.
There is no comment.
Says Kerwin Danley became the first black crew chief in 2020, and Alfonso Marquez became the first Hispanic crew chief born outside the United States that same year. Richie Garcia, who was born in Florida, was the first Hispanic crew chief from 1985 to 1989. Hernandez has been controversial on the field at times. He had 3 calls at first base overturned in video reviews during Game 3 of the 2018 AL Division Series between the New York Yankees and Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, this guy, Angel Hernandez, is quite possibly, I mean, he's the reason why a lot of, whenever he was umpiring in the majors, you look to see who the crew was going to be for your series. And if his name was on that list, you knew you were in for a hard time.
Like I said, there were 2 names on there you did not want to see. It was Angel Hernandez and Joe West.
Yeah.
Arguably the 2 worst umpires that MLB has ever seen.
Now, to be fair, Joe West didn't turn terrible until he got old, like a couple of years before his retirement.
Yeah, but when he turned bad, he turned really bad.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was like he flipped the script on it. But Angel Hernandez has been habitually bad. I mean, just horrible.
How does he still have a job?
The race card, honestly.
Yeah.
The race card. 100%.
I mean, after
he's got to be pushing on something.
This is like his 3rd lawsuit, isn't it?
It's his second or third attempt at it.
This one is like second one, but I think he's had other run-ins.
You can consider this hostility and fire him from that way.
That's why
no, because then he could counter sue for wrongful termination based on retribution statuses. But here's the thing:
retaliation.
They are giving him enough rope to hang himself. They have demoted him to the minor leagues, and he is stinking the joint up down there. I mean, he's leading the charge as to why people are crying for a robotic strike zone.
Yeah. Yes.
I
I
can see
mean, personally, I think it's crap. Now, with some of the strike and ball calls that are being made this year, dude, yeah, I mean, I can understand why. I mean, they're calling pitches that are 6 inches out of the strike zone a strike, you know?
They
And I mean,
it's
there was one game, it was, I forget who they were playing, but the Orioles were playing. I think it was a home game for them, and Angel Hernandez was umpiring. Their pitcher threw a ball right down the fucking middle, where I mean, we're talking middle. Any other day of the week, that thing would have been parked in the stands, right? But the hitter was sitting on a curve or sitting on an off-speed pitch, and they just pumped a strike right down the middle, right? Angel Hernandez missed it and called it a ball on a middle pitch.
and he had to have his eyes closed. He must have dozed off or something because it was
Yeah,
nowhere even close.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If MLB is going to do anything as far as the strike and, strike calls or, pitches called a ball, don't put it in a robotic strike zone. Just don't do it. You got your standard strike zone, which is televised on everybody's television screens, but make it to where you get, I don't know, 2 reviews of a strike call per game. Go start with that. But I mean, we're not going to see anything unless the players union agrees to it along with the owners.
Well, I agree. I don't think robotic strike zone is the answer, the way to go. What needs to happen is they need to start having more accountability for the umpires themselves, and especially for these ejection calls, because even those are getting out of hand.
Oh yeah, I mean, where the umpire starts making themselves the center of the game, that was never supposed to be a thing.
But when have you ever seen an umpire actually held accountable for one that was obviously wrong, egregiously, not just obviously, egregiously wrong?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, never.
Start finding them. Start holding them accountable for stuff like that.
I mean, Joe Torre needs to get off the stick. Yeah, absolutely.
You're only allowed so many of those egregious calls before your contract's pulled. You need to be held accountable and answerable for each of those calls, because that's important.
Exactly. And I mean, umpires, they need to report when pitchers and catchers reports. I mean, then they need to go through like a clinic.
Oh yeah.
They need to recertify every couple of years,
like
kind of a
certification.
Yeah, but the umpires union is never going to agree to any of that. But I think what needs to start happening is that MLB needs to start coming down with their competition department. Joe Torre needs to start hammering down and be like, look, you either start performing or you're going to start sitting out games. Now, the one thing like the NFL does, for the Super Bowl, they have an all-star crew.
Yeah.
Officials. I think they still do that for the World Series. I've seen it the last couple of years where there's been like a regular season crew that has like the highest percentage of correct calls gets to umpire the World Series. Yeah. I think that in order to make it 100% across the board, something every individual umpire needs to shoot for, I think that they need to go to an all-star crew. You've got the 2 line judges, you've got umpire at home plate, and then you got one kind of roaming around there just at the edge of the infield grass or outfield grass, right? So it's what, 4 umpires?
Yeah.
Right. Your individual scorecards throughout the regular season and the postseason should dictate who gets to officiate, who gets to umpire the World Series.
Yeah. There needs to be a threshold. You have to be above a certain 95 or 96% accuracy call
And I
on-
guarantee you that the strike zone is going to start becoming a lot more
accurate.
yeah, accurate. I don't want to say it's going to become smaller, but I mean, because here's the thing, and regardless as to
I
who's
think
pitching,
consistent is the word you're looking for more.
yeah, I mean, regardless as to who's pitching, you know, what team it is, whatever, the strike zone can shrink. It can span, and I think it's based solely. The umpires base the size of their strike zones solely on who's pitching that day. I mean, because if you get people like Max Scherzer that can make people swing at something 3 feet outside the strike zone, you know, because they throw a breaking ball that the bottom just absolutely falls out of,
Mhm.
fine. But the key to that changing strike zone is consistency.
Right.
100%. If you're going to call the same pitch outside a strike all, you know, for one pitch, you need to do that all day.
Right.
And
I
if
think
you're
players
going to make that, if you're going to make the correction, you need to make sure that you're making that correction for both batteries.
right. And I think players are not going to be upset about that, because if you're held consistent, you call the same pitch the same both ways, then they know at least, hey, this umpire tends to drift outside, or whatever adjustment that they're going to have. At
Mhm.
least you know what to look forward to, and you can adjust your approach from there.
Right. Because you got these professional major league caliber hitters, they know what the strike zone is.
Oh yeah.
And so I think also too, what they might need is like not necessarily a peer review, but more like a player review. Um, you know, maybe at the end of a series. Um, or you know, even just something as simple as every, you know, at the end of every game, players rate the umpire, the home plate umpire's performance. And then that goes into your season long review, and that'll help MLB's competition department figure out, okay, who's going to referee what series. Is this going to be wild cards? Is it going to be divisional? Is this going to be championship series? Is this going to be World Series?
Yeah.
And I think that would actually go a long way too, because then on top of all of that, the umpires know that the players are watching and that it actually matters.
Right. Or you could have a committee within the Players Association itself have a determination on that or something.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
And that's the thing is the umpires themselves need to realize that they need to start policing themselves better. And this is within the union itself, because they are dangerously close to just completely losing everything. So
Yeah.
the union itself, I know earlier you said that, you don't see the union making any changes. The union needs to realize either they make changes to start bringing them back under control, or they're all gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too much of a stretch to think that, you know, MLB would not hesitate to pull the trigger and go get some replacement umpires and replacement officials.
Absolutely.
And there needs to be accountability for the replay officials in New York too.
Oh yeah. That's what I say. Everybody needs to have
down,
accountability. Yes.
All right. Well,
Can't have accountability just on the players and then not expect to, it's the old adage, who's going to watch the watchers.
Exactly. You got anything else for baseball?
Derek Jeter destroys Marlins ballpark by removing home run sculpture.
Well, that was a long time ago, David. So what happened was, Derek Jeter,
the article's like 7 hours ago. I knew it happened like a long time ago in 2017.
Derek Jeter doesn't even own the Marlins anymore. He sold his controlling share. The one thing that everybody complained about at Marlins Park was that atrocious piece of artwork. Yeah, no, dude. It think about like the tourist maps from the 70s and 80s where it had all the characters.
And it looks interesting.
This thing reminded me of, and the only time that it would move is when the home team had a home run. And it was just atrocious. I mean, it was a waste of money. It was a textbook. It was a glaring physical representation of the mismanagement of the Marlins ownership.
But no, there's no other
Apparently Chris
football.
felt that strongly about it that he had to get up and leave. Yeah, but no, he didn't destroy the park. He had it dismantled and he had it removed. So you know, they took it out through the servants' entrances and everything like that. When you see article titles like that, clickbait is all they're going for. Like, oh my God, Derek Jeter destroyed something. Like, no. First off, he doesn't even live in Miami anymore. He moved back to New York.
Yeah.
And it's just.
But well, here's some interesting thing that's happening, I guess, this weekend. Notre Dame and the Navy is going at it for football, for college football, but it's going to happen in Dublin, Ireland.
Mm-hmm. College football is about to ramp up. So everywhere across America.
Oh yeah.
The quality of the weekend in a lot of American homes are going to be dictated by how their college team plays.
Yeah.
So
the significant other ends up with the black eye, this team their team lost. And I'm not talking like, I was like, oh, he's talking about men beating up women. No, I've seen some women beat the shit out of their man because their team lost. It was, I felt horrible.
Then you get Dallas fans,
college
fans and Philadelphia fans. They get so aggravated at the team that they trash the TV hanging on the wall.
Or they trash the town.
Right. Yeah. Philadelphia wins or loses. Somebody's getting burned that weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in case you live under a rock and weren't aware, preseason football kicked off last weekend.
Dude.
The first game on the pallet, the first game out, was the Houston Texans playing the New England Patriots. And the Texans managed to pull off a shocker, 20-9. They beat New England.
Don't forget about the new 12-point
preseason football. So those of you who are Texans fans that follow the Toro, to quote Mr. Wolf, everybody now, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite just yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't forget about the new 12-point rule for NFL.
Oh, I will get to that. Let me get to the scores first. It's called ebb and flow, and there's an order to things. So why don't you Hakuna your tatas, de-stress your breasts.
I want to put a couple of speed bumps in there.
Dude, there's even just the slightest amount of floor play that needs to happen first. You don't go right to the orgasm, David. You got to coax it. You have to.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta lube it up before you rim it in the hole.
Dry.
That's how that works.
Yeah,
that's normally how it works.
Shit.
Yeah. You want ants? That's how you get ants.
That's very accurate.
All right. So the Vikings and the Seahawks, they squared off this week or last weekend. The Seahawks were victorious in that one, 13-24. The Detroit Lions took on the New York Football Giants and beat them 21-16. The Steelers played Baker Mayfield or Jeremy Mayfield, and the Buccaneers beat them 27-17. Packers were victorious over the Cincinnati Bengals 36-19. The Atlanta Falcons beat up on the Ace Ventura Fish 19-3. That's the Miami Dolphins to you, David. And the hopefully not too much longer for this world Washington Commanders. Those are the District of Washington or District of Columbia Washington Commanders. Hopefully to become the Washington Redskins again. Barely went out over the Cleveland Browns 17-15. The Broncos lost to the Cardinals. The Donkeys making a comeback.
You mean the
Mile High Donkeys? Yes, sir. They lost the Birds of Arizona.
Is it COLT or CULT? Because I get kind of confused when we're actually doing an interview and everything.
Donkeys, as in.
Oh my God!
Like just a donkey.
Didn't we have this same exact conversation with him during the last NFL season? I
No,
swear.
no. What had happened was it was kind of funny.
We're not talking about the Indianapolis Colts, jackass.
What happened last week?
Okay, so David is notorious for embellishing stories, so I'm going to tell it to you straight, Chris. When I get on, so I was on the What the Hell with
Andrea,
right? So I asked him before the show, what are we talking about? And he said Colts, right? Yeah. And the way that David and his wonderful powers of enunciation made it come across through the interwebs from his house to mine, Colts. And I was like, I'm sitting there thinking about it. My brain's cramping. And I'm like, the fuck are we talking about horses for? And then he goes, no, Colt. And I was like, you mean Colts? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, you are a non-English speaking bitch, dude. And then he tried to bust my chops for it in front of our guests. And I was like, look, if you're going to tell it right. And so when I told the story, I've kind of got the inclination from our two guests that they knew my pain. So there's that.
They should.
Yeah,
I imagine that they're just as long suffering as we are.
Yeah, telling you, pretty much. Anyways, no, we're not talking about the Colt of Indianapolis. We're talking about the donkeys of the Mile High City, David.
Okay,
that's Denver, David. Not Miles City, Montana. That's a different
place.
Miles City. Oh my God,
Miles City. I'm not from Montana. You don't even know if there's Paris, Texas, or a.
There's a Berlin, Texas. There's a Paris, Texas. Yeah. There's a Rome, Texas.
You can go to Mars.
Even in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the Chicago Bears beat the Tennessee Titans 23-17. The Buffalo Bills beat up on the Indianapolis Colts. Looking at you, David. 23-19. And you could almost pass off the Colt fan base as a cult. So there you go.
That's incredibly accurate, actually.
Yeah, it is.
God, that looks.
The New York Jets, JETSSS, Jets. They beat the Carolina Panthers 27-0.
Do they use a new quarterback? I mean, he's kind of young.
Well, he's usually going to be in for like maybe the first series and a half. Then they're going to start stretching him out. And then Dallas Cowboys snatched defeat from the jaws of victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-23. On the bright note, though, Deuce Vaughn is going to be fun to watch in the running game this year.
If they can figure out their O-line.
Yeah. Well, he was reminiscent of a little bit of Barry Sanders and a little bit of Emmitt Smith.
You kind of have to be when you got to make your own
right,
your own avenues of approach.
And in the Battle of the Birdhouse, the Eagles lost to the Ravens 20-19.
Well, back to that Cowboys Jaguars game. You said the Cowboys won?
I said they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh, okay. That makes sense now.
But thank you for actively participating.
No. There's actually another thing that happened in that game that was fucking phenomenal. I kept on seeing reels about it. Is the Jaguar quarterback? I mean, he took 4 to 5 hits and still was getting held down. Get that last touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
exactly, and that was like the last drive.
Your 4th and 5th rounder, your 4th and 5th round picks are out there playing defense, and they don't know how to wrap up, which is why they got picked in the 4th and 5th rounds.
Yep. Yeah. Although you learn how to form tackle in frickin' Pee-wee.
Yeah, but then you start learning how to use your helmet as a weapon, and then your coaches never blink twice because, hey, you made a good hit, right?
They don't correct you after that.
Right. And in the Battle of LA, the Chargers were victorious 34-17 over the Rams. The Saints beat the Chiefs 26-24. Again, it's the preseason, everybody. And the 49ers. The 49ers. If I'm not mistaken, no, they weren't the defending, were they? No, they weren't. Never mind. They lost in the NFC Championship last season, didn't they? That's right, because it was Philadelphia that choked in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The 49ers lost to the Raiders 34-7. Now, before we start doing our picks of the week, I think we just probably need to wait to see how the preseason fleshes out and
Yeah, we'll get through the
regular season.
I was thinking that too.
Now, riddle me this, Batman. I think that we should do a special edition Nerd Sports from Texas Motor Speedway.
We absolutely should.
Okay.
Or
I
at
was-
the very least, when we get back to the hotel Sunday night.
I was planning on doing that anyways. I'm gonna bring my board.
A little wrap up special.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my board. So.
Everybody can see how sunburnt, toasted, and trashed we possibly are at that point.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Our adoring fans need to see the aftermath.
Right?
Sorry,
Like
our adoring fan.
our
He
adoring fan. Yeah.
To see the aftermath. Who knows? By then, maybe we'll have one more by then, so we could actually say fans. We could say more than one.
Right. Yeah. We could say super fans as opposed to super fan, right?
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's even if she listens anymore.
She says she hasn't caught up for a while, so.
Yeah, see, we lost our super fan.
And
well, is it a demotion at this point, or is it just semi-retirement? Is she pulling a Brett Favre?
brief hiatus,
Brief hiatus. Okay.
a sabbatical, if you will.
I would go
That's how I
sabbatical.
choose to see it.
Well, I don't know. A lot of here lately, we've been taking hits, but not that bad. It's not like we jump from 2 to 1,000. So
Yeah, I mean, you eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah.
Now you know. So going into next week's preseason games, Thursday night's game is going to be the Browns versus the Eagles. Friday night's going to be the Panthers versus the New York Football Giants. I'm always going to say that. I'm sorry. I just can't say the New York Giants because football Giants is like a lot easier to, and it's more fun to say.
It just rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, exactly. It does. The Bengals are going to be playing the Falcons on Friday. Saturday is going to be the Jaguars at the Lions. If I am going to make a pick, I'm going to pick the Lions to beat the Jaguars, though. Because the Lions, you saw the hints of it last year. They were really starting to figure it out. And there's going to come it may not be this season, it may be next season, but the Detroit Lions are going to be dangerous.
I'm still looking at the Bengals. I'm liking the team.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man, because the Bengals actually had it really.
No, it's not the Bengals. Bengals are playing the Falcons. I'm talking about the Jaguars and the Lions.
Oh, Jaguars. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Dolphins are going to be here in Houston next Sunday, playing the Texans. Let me see here. Saturday, another Saturday game is going to be the Bills at the Steelers, Bears at the Colts, Buccaneers at the Jets, Patriots at the Packers, Titans at the Vikings, Chiefs and Cardinals, Broncos, 49ers, Raiders, Rams, Cowboys at the Seahawks. Sunday's going to be the Saints at the Chargers, Ravens at Washington for the Commanders. So I mean, that's going to be fun. Before we get started on our NASCAR segment, however, we are going to
I really want to learn how to fucking do type shit.
do what?
I just got to edit something.
From our show, like right now?
No.
Okay, I was going to say. And we got a special surprise. So we're going to bring Colin in. And yeah, check it out. Come on, dude. Where's your camera? Turn your camera on. There he is.
Yes.
Yes. He can hear us.
We got sound and everything.
Do it sideways like this.
Yeah, look at
Yeah,
that.
turn your phone landscape, bud. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn, we almost look like we know what we're doing.
I know exactly, right? It's only taken us 121 episodes, half of which Colin has been a part of this show, for us to finally get him on the screen with us. All right, so here we go. All right. Now, I don't know if David's put it in yet, but we do have an actual sponsor read to open the show.
I put it in. I do post. I get to do no post.
I know. But will it be in front of it? Will it precede this episode when it goes up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, now we have a pre-recorded read. And before we get started on this week's installment of Colin's Part, we are going to do the live read. So, as always, this next segment is brought to you by Mobile Notary Mindy. She does wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and I-9 verifications. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's bonded and E&O insured. You can look her up on Facebook at Mobile Notary Mindy. She's also on TikTok and Instagram. She also has a new webpage. It is TX Mobile Notary Mindy. She's got a link there where you can ask questions. You can register your email address, and it will automatically send you an email. If you need her for any kind of notarization needs, hit her up, and she will do everything within her power to make sure that you get taken care of. Now, without further ado, I bring to you this week, and for those of you watching the video stream either on YouTube or Spotify, I bring to you from the ashes, from the clouds of dust that is left of the island of Maui. Too soon? Maybe. And then he goes, look at that. Where did he go? There he goes. Okay. You can't be answering text messages while you're on camera, dude. It cuts your camera out.
That's not what I'm doing. I'm looking at my jokes.
Oh, okay. I got you. From the fallen ashes and smoky billowing haze of the island of Maui and its leftovers, I bring to you a masterless Ronin, a man capable of bringing clouded judgment to your own morality, your ethics, and your sense of right and wrong. Up, down, north, south, east, and west. My genetic code on display for your ears and now your eyes to feast upon. This, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you this week's installment of Joke Time with Colin.
What do you call a gay drive-by? A fruit roll-up.
Awesome. That's a good one.
And he's gone again. He vanishes from the presence of no
Right.
What's harder than a rock? Michael Jackson when he's at a school.
Oh my.
Oh shit!
No.
Man,
Oh.
almost
Is
said it
that,
with his entire chest too. Like he leaned into that one.
Christ compel you. Oh my God, dude.
It's almost as bad as that. How much do you love kids? 10-point diagram that I sent. First part is Casey Anthony, and the last part is Jared from Subway.
Right. Oh, is that all you had for this week, bud?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're going to have you stick around for the NASCAR section, and then we're going to talk about some nerd stuff like video games and stuff like that. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are 3 weeks away from Starfield.
Dude,
All right.
rub it in.
So-
Thank you.
Hey, look, I don't want to hear about it. Final Fantasy 16.
I don't have that one either.
Dude, that game is
Nobody does, but you're going to be able to play it if you wanted to.
no, dude. That game is
Well, I do
huge.
wanna
Like,
I do want to try it. I'm broke.
Wait, hold on. Did you pick that up, Colin?
no, dude. Because like I look on the shop sometimes, dude. That game takes up so much space.
What is? I'm gonna have to delete like most of my hard drive.
Like it's bigger than Red Dead 2.
Okay, so you're saying an
Ironically, it's
external
probably
hard
the one
drive is a
I need.
must.
Yeah.
An expanded SSD and then the external hard drive just to play this game.
Dude, speaking of, have you seen the size of the map that they are talking about in GTA 6?
Yes.
Dude, it's giving me more than one city.
Oh, and the Spider-Man 2 Special Edition PS5 was leaked.
Oh,
Bro, that thing looks.
I need to get a PS5 already.
Dude,
I need to break down and do it. 'Cause,
I need to get money. I'm broke.
well, you know how I feel.
Well, okay, so to be fair, I mean, Chris, if you remember during the summer, he spent all $500 of his hard-earned money to buy his own PS5.
It was true, and I applaud that in the strongest way possible. That is our capitalist system at its finest, right there.
Yeah, dude. I'm broke as a
Meanwhile,
joke.
I've got a wedding to go. I got a wedding to go to at the beginning of September because my oldest son Chauncey is getting married.
Is he?
Don't
Yeah,
run.
yeah, he's getting married. They're getting married in Lubbock.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Run while you can.
She's a great girl, dude. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she is absolutely what he needed.
Did you say he's a great girl? Is that
I said she's a great girl.
No,
Don't try to get me in trouble.
That is 100% what he
Oh shit!
said.
Shit!
Did you kick him?
I actually hit a button. Fuck. Sorry.
no? You
Don't be trying to get me in trouble with your brother because that will
I'm
not
not.
fly.
I'm not.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
I'm just
6.5
saying.
hours away, but I
I'll
see you
find
this
it,
weekend,
I'll
and
find
you are
it.
not too big where I can't whoop your ass, dude.
No, I'm just saying. All I heard was he's a great girl. That's
I said she. Let me be
Colin,
more specific.
I will find it. I will find it and I will send it to him. to
His
show him.
fiance is a great woman. How about that? Right? To be more specific.
That's
Anyways, she is exactly what he has needed in his life. See how I'm using pronouns properly? There's only 2 to use.
he can identify however he wants. It's 2023.
I'm an Apache helicopter, dude. My pronouns are hellfire and chain gun. Okay.
I got the time step, so we're good.
Hey, you do whatever you think is necessary there, bud. But the
This thing, TikTok
PS5,
is forever.
PS5 placed our Spider-Man 2 edition is dude, that thing looks hot. It looks like the Wi-Fi router that the PS5 looks like. And it starts down from the bottom. It starts in red with the Spider-Man logo on it, and it fades, and it kind of fades to black as you get towards the top.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited
And
for
the
Spider-Man,
controller?
but
The
That does-
controller, The controller looks like Venom got a hold of it.
Dude.
Yeah.
It looks like a symbiote is kind of like crawling across the controller.
Dude,
Yeah.
So
but
I don't
you-
know if that's going to be an Easter egg or not, but dude,
No,
Oh.
he
No, it's
part of the
it's-
storyline is he gets the Venom symbiote.
Yeah. Like that's already been and revealed with gameplay.
have y'all seen the updated version of Mary Jane in the new Spider-Man?
Huh.
Dude, it's horrible.
Really?
Why?
Yeah.
In what
Well,
way?
Yeah.
Like it's nowhere close to how it was in the original.
You say just the character or the
The design is like
right?
nothing's the same as it was
No.
in.
I just want I want to make sure they have Stan Lee in there. There needs to be a Stan Lee.
you know what I
freaking
think? For
cameo.
every Marvel movie from this point going forward, there needs to be a poster of Stan Lee, a missing poster of Stan Lee somewhere in the movie.
Dude.
Yes. I don't know.
And
that'd
not
be
like
pretty
a
cool.
quick camera flash over it either. Like it needs to be clear. Like it needs to stop for a second.
It's either that or Deadpool needs to make a cameo in every Marvel movie, break the fourth wall, and go, "Hey, look,
Dressed as
no,
Stan.
not even dressed as Stan Lee.
No,
He
I
just
want
needs to
him in
pick his head up
full-
and just
I want
you
him
know
in
what? You're
full
right.
Deadpool gear, and then have a gray wig and glasses and the mustache
At the
Over the Deadpool mask.
over the mask. Yes.
at the end of the final DLC of Spider-Man PS4, there's a little like end credit thing that's like in memory of Stan Lee.
Yeah, and in what is it, Miles Morales, the restaurant that Stan Lee owned and operated in the first game, there's a golden statue of Stan Lee in front of it now.
They changed Miles's
Is there really?
character design too.
I need to go.
Yeah,
back.
there is.
Go back and
Now,
look.
and okay, so the PS5, I don't know if you pulled it or looked it up yet, Chris.
I have it open right now.
Yeah,
and I'm
dude.
salivating.
PlayStation Direct has it for $600. But here's my thing, okay?
Release
get
date September 1st.
Yeah, ain't no way in hell there's no way I can come up with $600 between now and then, at all. Period. I got a mortgage to pay.
Here's a bad part about being an adult with credit cards. I could totally do that, but it'd be on my credit card.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that to myself.
no.
Like there's that little voice and just saying, "You have
Do the roar.
credit. Shut up!
It's like do the roar.
Shut up!"
At least it's not like me where I accidentally bought that shit.
What do you mean accident? How
I accidentally
You
bought
have
it.
to
do you accidentally? You know how many different
Checkout.
buttons you have to
Verify
push?
all your information and then click buy.
Most of the time, you
I
have
thought
to
it was gonna
actually
be like on
physically
a
enter your address. It's not just a
no, not when you do it through Verizon. I clicked on it. I literally I clicked on it.
So you're paying installments on it through your cell phone bill?
Oh my
No, I bought it straight out. I had enough money to actually buy it straight out. I thought I was gonna pay installments on my cell phone bill, but it didn't go through, I guess, the way that I wanted to, and I had to pay for it straight out. But luckily, I had money.
Remember that conversation we had earlier about foreplay?
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely learn that shit.
Yes.
Yes,
Slow down
definitely
and
learn that
savor
shit.
the moment.
Yeah. Dude, and okay, so a testament to how well our cell phones listen to us, right? Especially Facebook, crap like that.
There's
I'm sitting there, I'm having active conversations with my wife, thinking of ways that I can scheme and we can twist and wring out budgets to where I can buy this, right? Because I want that bundle.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the day that this bundle dropped, my phone absolutely went bonkers, dude. Best Buy's app, PlayStation's app, throwing me notifications like crazy, dude. I mean, it went gangbusters. I'm just sitting there going, I mean, Dude. It was like I was a school child lost at Neverland. You know, Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch is, dude. I was just like this the whole day. I was like this for the whole day, Chris. Look, I was like this. You know? I'm still a child. I'm supposed to be innocent, not in the eye.
Be innocent.
Basically, you're like a child going through Neverland.
It's Neverland Ranch. You know, Michael Jackson's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Uncle Charlie. No.
It's so salty.
Why has he touched me in my no spot?
So spicy.
But all right, so let's get the NASCAR part knocked out here real quick, because then we can double back and come back.
Yeah, hurry up! I want to talk nerd shit.
Yeah, hurry! I'm hurrying. Shut up. All right, so Michael McDowell actually won the Indy road course race.
Nickel for every time.
Colin, why are we staring at your Donkey Kong?
Why do they have one eye? That
David,
okay? It has two eyes.
go back and replay that conversation again inside your head.
Why does it have one eye?
You know, Wander Franco is getting investigated because he said some stupid shit like that.
Shit.
Wow.
Mahalo.
Wow. Just
All right, so Michael McDowell, he clinched a playoff berth this weekend with picking up the win at the Indy road course race. After the race was over, some teams stayed back in Indy, and they actually did some tire testing on the oval. So there is hope that maybe somebody in the scheduling department and that has any kind of powers to be abilities within the ranks of the NASCAR head office is contemplating that we actually do the right thing and return to the oval at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Because, you know, I miss the days where we had an actual Brickyard 400. Just kind of putting that out there. Let me see here. Next week on the schedule is the Go Bowling at the Glen. It's going to be held at Watkins Glen International Raceway. It's going to be on the USA Network, Motor Racing Network on the radio, or Sirius XM. That is going to be this Sunday, August 20th, and it's going to be a 2:00 Central Time green flag. I'm going to probably be listening to it on the radio because I'm having to cart kids back and forth and things like that. So, but yeah, not a lot going on in the NASCAR world. I did see where Noah Gragson asked for to be just to be outright released from his contract from Legacy Motor Club. Don't know that he's going to be taking the sponsors with him. Most likely not. I think that Noah Gragson, I mean, it was boneheaded, but I don't think that it was intentional. I mean, everybody saw the meme. I don't care who you are. That was funny.
Yeah.
But I think that being in a high profile position such as he is, I do think that he does need to get in the good graces of NASCAR again. He needs to be reinstated. I say put him back. You know, Junior Motorsports, Dale Jr. needs to put him back in the 9 car, driving in the Xfinity Series. Or if the rumor mill holds any kind of water, Dale Earnhardt Jr. may be destined for a Cup team, or not himself driving for the Cup team, but as an owner, JR Motorsports may be going Cup racing here in the next year or two. I think that Noah Gragson needs to be kind of groomed a little bit. And I'm not talking about groomed like the Alphabet Squad would have you be groomed, but conditioned to, a little bit, better seasoned. How about that? Noah Gragson knows that we know that he can drive a race car. I think that he maybe needs to spend another year in the Xfinity Series, honestly, just to kind of
mature.
figure some things out again. And and if Junior's going to go Cup racing with a race team, I think he needs to put Noah Gragson in a seat, 100%, hands down. I mean, because that's going to be another kind of a Hendrick Motorsports satellite team, and they're going to be a heavy hitter because their engine program is going to be on point. Their body fab is going to be, pretty stellar. But I think that Noah Gragson's actually he'll more than likely get reinstated by the end of the season. It's just unfortunate that the cancel culture got a hold of him the way that they did. But as far as NASCAR news, really not too much going on there. With and of course Denny Hamlin had to run his mouth, and he's all right. So Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus, the driver crew chief tandem that won 7 Cup championships together at Hendrick Motorsports in the 48 Lowe's Chevy, both got inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame last week. And Denny Hamlin, he's criticizing the way that the voting happens, something with the way that the voting system works. I think we're on like the 15th or 16th class of drivers and, or of NASCAR legends to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, somewhere around there. And you're just now having a problem with it.
Right.
I mean, it's to the point now where Denny Hamlin, I don't want to call him the Karen of NASCAR, but he's more like the yeah, we're just I don't want to disparage the name of Chad because Chad Knaus obviously did something right. Denny Hamlin is just good enough to keep a job. If he wants to talk about the way things are voted on, get out of the driver's seat, put on your owner's hat full time, and then bark that way. Because at least then we can choose to unfollow your Twitter account, or I'm sorry, your X account. Yeah, let's be a little bit more modern with it. But with Denny Hamlin running his mouth the way that he has been over the last few weeks about the way things occur on and off the track, Denny Hamlin is dangerously approaching one of those situations where, we just ignore him. David, Chris, I know that you guys have run into those individuals when you were serving or even in your regular jobs. The person just has nothing positive to say about anything. He's always criticizing the status quo. And he never offers any kind of constructive criticisms, never has a solution for anything. He just wants to argue and complain just so that way he feels heard.
Yeah.
And it's sad because with Denny Hamlin, I mean, he's a talented stock car driver. He's a very talented stock car driver. And if he would just focus on driving and, driving the right way, he would be a lot more successful than he has been lately. I know he picked up the win a couple of weeks ago, but he did it. He went about it the wrong way. He had room to give, and he chose not to. He ran Kyle Larson up into the fence. Every driver that was behind it knew what happened, and they saw it. There's no two ways about it. It's not one of those, it was just a racing deal. No. That was Denny Hamlin showing the blatant disrespect that he has for everybody else in the garage because he has the I'm Denny Hamlin and you're not syndrome going on. Well, not to rain on your parade too much there, Denny, but even Napoleon, after he came out of exile for the second time and was eventually murdered, His micro penis is in a jar somewhere in Russia. So just kind of keep that in mind.
I don't even think they want to watch that shit.
It doesn't matter. I'm just kind of putting that out there because you know how sound bites like to travel,
Yeah.
you know. But if you want a lasting impression to be attached to your quote unquote legacy after you leave the ranks of the of drivers in NASCAR, in this day and age, and in this era that we're racing, you can't afford to have the Bobby Allison mentality. You can't afford to have the Jimmy Spencer mentality. You can't even afford to have the Kurt Busch mentality. You have to mind your P's and Q's. You are constantly under a microscope. You are constantly being analyzed, looked at, listened to, watched. Every little nuance of your skill, talent, whether it's driving ability or your owner or your abilities as an owner, are being analyzed, and they are going to be weighed. And when it comes time for you to retire, and the minimum 5-year requirement between retirement and a Hall of Fame eligibility happens, you don't want to be weighed, measured, and found wanting, sir. So maybe take that into consideration. There's a way to be polarizing without coming across looking like a complete douche nozzle, for lack of a better term. Just kind of putting that out there. Us normal folk have to deal with that on a daily basis. There's absolutely no reason why you should feel like you're insulated against the same things. So with that being said, we're going to circle back around to some more nerd stuff.
One thing that we need to talk about happened last week. Brandon Herrera is going again to try to go to be a congressman.
Running against Gonzalez,
Yep.
incumbent Republican.
Yeah. Apparently, he's an incompetent.
He's a rhino.
Yeah.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. I want to play it.
I
have seen
not-
so much that just makes me super excited.
I just hope that's not mods that
No.
are doing what they're doing.
No, none
in
of
that
it.
game.
None of it. Everything that you have seen is gameplay.
The stuff
Out
I've
of
been
the
seeing,
box
y'all guys,
game.
right?
Everything that you have seen is out of the box gameplay.
Oh my god,
No mods.
it's coming out like what, September 2nd
It's already out.
Yeah.
on
I
PS.
It is already out on PS5.
Think on
It is out.
Xbox Game Pass. I'm not entirely sure. So Colin, what's the latest and greatest that you're playing right now?
See, the most recent thing I've played.
Mine's still saying pre-order.
The most recent thing I played today was Tower of Fantasy, but that's old news. A Last Ronin game got announced a few days ago.
Yes, thank you for reminding us. Yeah,
Yes.
you get to play as Michelangelo.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Spoiler alert.
The trailer looked great, but it bothered me. There was no
Gameplay. Yeah,
Gameplay.
I'm with Chris.
I mean, I
on this.
realize it's just a teaser.
It's
It's
so
just a teaser. Now, I think that they did use the CGI from the fan made trailers that that have been circulating. Or there was actually they animated the entire novel, didn't they, on YouTube?
so
Something like that. Yeah.
they talked about, they showed like some stuff at this convention, but so it's supposed to be a third person like rogue game,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna be able to use all the weapons and all of that. Not really a lot's been told about the game.
Yeah. Oh, Rick and Morty season 7 is coming soon.
Fuck, I'm so happy about that too. Oh, I watched the Venture Brothers movie. That was actually pretty decent.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see here. Everspace 2. I didn't really like Everspace, the first one. I really didn't care for it too much.
Some more Mortal Kombat characters got announced.
Okay.
We got Havoc. We got Reptile.
Okay.
And what's the third one? I can't remember her name. She like uses a sword to purify her soul. Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay. Day one on Game Pass is going to be a game called Sea of Stars. Let me see here. It's by Sabotage Studios. It's not rated right now. It's got all the feel of like a 32-bit kind of indie title, right? It looks pretty polished. It's gotten some pretty good reviews so far. Just from the people who have tested the game and things like that. They say that it's pretty well balanced. There's also going to be let me see here. Starfield is going to be on September 6th.
I'm not going to be able to play that.
Right about a month away.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right, Colin. You can't because you don't have a Series X yet. So whenever you're here. No, let me finish. When you're here, I'll let you give it a spin.
Dude.
And Chris, when you come down for the race,
dude, I just realized that it'll be there when I'm there that weekend. Oh,
yeah. When you come down for the race and you're here, physically at the house, I'll let you try it out.
I think Johnny's back might be blown out that weekend.
Man, I don't. Ooh, that's gonna be a double-edged sword though, because I'll get just a little taste of it, and then it'll be cruelly ripped away from me.
All right, how about this?
Here you go, a little bit. But no, give me that bike.
Play. How about that? I won't physically give you the controller because that's too much. There are 6 games that are set to leave. There's Black Desert. There's Commandos 3, which is basically an HD remaster anyway. Immortality, Nuclear Throne, Surgeon Simulator 2. So for those of you who incessantly watch Grey's Anatomy and then inspire yourself to be the next McDreamy, don't just know that your game's leaving. And then Tinykin is leaving also. But yeah, Everspace 2. I mean, I played the first Everspace on Switch. I really wasn't that impressed with it.
I don't think I ever played that one.
There's a game called Firewatch. Let me see here. So yeah, Everspace from Mockfish Games. Next up is Firewatch. It's available on PC, console, and cloud from August 17th. It's a single player first person mystery from Campo Santo. IGN rated it 9 out of 10.
I don't like critics.
It's a walking simulator.
What?
It says Firewatch is among the best of the walking simulators thanks to stellar writing, art direction, and voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty stoked about it. There's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that's hitting Game Pass.
Dying Light.
Is it going to be like the
Is it literally
Friday the 13th game?
Well, okay, so Chris said it's
Dying Light.
Dying Light, but with
not Dying Light.
I love Dying Light.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
Let me see. It says this is the third-person asymmetrical horror-based game, based on the '74 film, not the remakes. But it's from Sumo Digital and Friday the 13th. The game publisher Gun. Okay, so the publishing company Gun Interactive that did Friday the 13th, they're doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Okay, so
what's
it's
the name
gonna
of the
be
game I'm trying to say?
So it's gonna be
What is the name of the game? Aaron, my oldest boy, he loves that game.
Days Gone.
No. It's got like the serial killers. It's got oh man. This is gonna drive me absolutely up the freaking wall.
Okay.
serial killers. Is it like a fighting game or?
No.
It's one of those games that you get like 5 players and the other people get the boss.
Give me just a second. I will.
All right, so I'm going to read the Baldur's Gate 3 review. This guy,
Dead by Daylight. That's the one I'm trying to say.
Okay, so the person that wrote this article, Lena Hafer.
No relations.
Yeah, no relations. No relation.
I'd have relations. We don't know.
This was August 15th. So she wrote this article today. She's clocked in, as of today, she's clocked in 115 hours in Baldur's Gate 3. And she's sunk deep into its third act. No spoilers here, but I can say that this is where Larian's writing has really come to shine in terms of weighty role-playing choices. In fact, the big decision you have to make before committing to a final plan of action to stop the bad guys is devilishly ingenious. The jaws of the trap already closed long before we arrived here, but there is still room to make for bold decisions that will affect the outcome. She says, and as I watched the chess game between devils and tyrants played out in my head, I felt heartbroken and liberated at the same time to realize that the only winning move, or what the only winning move might be. This is not a tale that takes for granted that you are a hero. It's one that truly stares you down and demands that you prove it, if that's really what you're made of. I'm backed into a corner with a dozen ways out, but each one would require me to compromise on what I believe in one way or another. This elevates the tension and the storytelling to new heights. This is not a tale that takes... Okay, so to say, likewise, the sprawling city of Baldur's Gate that took so long to reach is a hub. Hold on. Oh, snap. What is that?
What the?
Is that on my gnocchi? What is this? Oh, potato. Okay. Well, that macaroni is good, though. That macaroni is fire. Okay. I'm just done reading this. I'm going to go eat, guys. All right.
I got some red snapper fillets defrosted. Speak.
Right? All right. So likewise, the sprawling city of Baldur's Gate that took so long to reach is a hub full of life and adventure where almost every citizen has something to say about the unfolding events, and my nosy exploration is consistently rewarded with new lore, new loot, and new quests. It's downright astounding how much voice acting Larian has crammed into these streets and how good nearly all of it is. When was the last time you played an RPG where at least one character's performance didn't stand out as phoned in? There are dozens of random gossipers on the street corners who sound just as enthusiastically and professionally portrayed as the main cast and rarely sound too similar to each other. I assume many of the actors involved must be responsible for more than one of these bit parts, but I can't tell just by listening like I can in some areas of Skyrim. That being said, I did have to lower my graphics settings a bit from the maxed out levels I'd been playing up to at this point. Even on my RTX 3080, the city is not all that friendly to my frame rate. So with many questions finally answered and a clear idea of what I need to do to finish this fight, I'm cutting a determined path through the underworld and facing both new and old enemies. And in a lot of ways, I don't want Baldur's Gate 3 to end. And that's really saying something given how much time I've already put into it. But all good things must. So you can expect my final thoughts later this week.
Here's the thing, though, is that there's so much within there that the replayability on there is almost endless.
Yeah, and that's the thing too.
There was one video that I saw on TikTok that this person like took a rest for the night, and their companion did not stay with them. Their companion made a decision to go do their own thing, and ultimately died because of that. Because they got into a fight later down the road doing something stupid because they chose a different path than what you. So there's a certain independence there
Mm-hmm.
that will also lead to branching storylines. Like,
Yeah, and there's one game that I did want to play, but I didn't want to build a PC just to play this. But 6 Days in Fallujah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Dude, seeing these guys live stream that game.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, Eli
Like,
and Batty were talking about that. No, it was Nico and Eli. They were watching the trailer video of that, and I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot about it. But
Yeah, there was a pre-release they gave out to a bunch of streamers, and they were streaming the shit out of it, and everything that I've seen on there was fantastic.
yeah, Eli's like, man,
or
I'm
not, but with
yeah,
it,
on this shit.
yeah, it looked fantastic.
I tell you, there was one game. It was it was way ahead of its time, and I think it was limited by the technology constraints of the era, but it was a PC game back in the day, and it was it was called the 101st Airborne in Normandy.
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
You had you jumped in, you went through the 1, 2, 3s of the jump, and if you survived the jump, you took command of a squad. This thing was it was. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was a lesson in micromanaging, because you had to tell your squad members when to eat, when to drink, because they would die of hunger and thirst if they didn't.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was like,
And I think that was one of the first games that introduced permadeath, if I'm not mistaken. But, well, guys, I know that, and I did not do Colin's outro for his segment. We got so wrapped up in the nerd stuff.
I know. We're getting the nerd stuff. It happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, being all that having been said, I'm going to properly do his outro. Then I think we need to land this plane.
Is that the reason why he hasn't left? It's because he hasn't done the outro yet.
Around, and he's been quiet. He's actually contributed to the nerd section, which I appreciate. That's about you.
Yeah.
is that all you appreciate?
Easy there, Squirrely Dan. Oh, look, the ground.
Your sister's hot, Wade. There, I said it.
I can't. I'm too fat. I can't run. All right, so Colin, on your Hulu profile, you need to watch Letterkenny and get caught up in that.
I don't have a Hulu profile.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
You need to make one.
All right, fine. Then watch mine. I don't care. And we can hear his Xbox in the background. Okay. Anyway, don't be trying to make a point. Just use my profile. It's fine. Okay. David, unmute him.
I didn't mute him.
Okay. Don't mute yourself. All right. It's fine. Anyways, now that the dust has settled, fingers are being pointed as to who is actually to blame for the directed energy bursts that lit Maui on fire. But regardless as to who it is that pulled the trigger, the one presence that brought order from the chaos, that brought doubt from the certainty, that snatched laughter from the jaws of tears, the masterless Ronin strides off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Where he'll appear next, only he is for sure. What he'll do next, that's in the hands of God. But I give to you this week's installment of Joke Time with Colin, my genetic code. Once again on display for your ear holes. And now, for your eyes to feast upon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls of all ages, angry faithful, super fan or former, I give to you this week's installment of Joke Time with Colin.
Now, everyone, thank you all for listening. Thank
You
you
didn't
all for
play-
watching.
Oh
you
my
didn't-
God, David! One job. One job.
You didn't play the sound.
Oh,
shit! Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the ineptitude of our producer does not directly reflect the talents or skills of those in participating in this week's episode of Nerd Sports, brought to you by Angry Me Production. It is simply his and his alone. Do with that information as you see fit. And now back to the show.
luckily, we're not there in person, so that his incompetence can't rub off on us.
I think he could go through the sound system and hit y'all up in the ears. I mean, it's just like,
It's an ITD, it's an internet transmitted disease.
I mean,
Yes.
could, but you know, you'd probably forget to do it in the first place. So I feel pretty safe.
I mean, that is a valid point. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
I am Chris Jacka.
Colin Scott.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, see,
Thank
he
you all
knows
for
how to hit a cue.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Have a great, wonderful week. Later.
Laters.